It is Friday night, July 8th, and a lot of stuff going on. We are in the midst of a very big crisis in our country at this time. I'm a former law enforcement officer of Texas. I have many friends of mine that are police officers still in Texas. I'm mourning the officers that died from senseless violence. We're going to discuss the Dallas ambush. I'm also going to discuss the recent officer-involved shootings in Louisiana and Minnesota. All of them are sad. That any police involvement goes to the level of deadly force. You know, I was in law enforcement for 13 years, and I can't say that I've ever met anybody that wanted to kill somebody as a police officer, or wanted to kill somebody because they were black, or wanted to kill somebody because they were white. I've never met anybody like that, or wanted to kill somebody because they were Arab. I don't know anybody that wants to kill people for no reason like that. I mean, it's just what shocks me. You know, and being a police officer myself, you know, and dealing with people, and dealing with bad people, and dealing with good people, you just don't see that in people. It's just rare to see somebody, you know, with. The problem is with the rhetoric that we have going on in this country right now, they're trying to divide us so much that we become like that's our last effort. We have to do is, you know, have to take out so many of them because they're doing this to us. Well, you know, I don't see that is what law enforcement officers' goal is. Law enforcement officers' goal is to get home safe. Are there bad law enforcement? Oh, yeah. Are there good ones? Oh, yes. There's a bad person in every profession there is. You can think that, we're going to talk about, you know, Hillary Clinton down the road tonight. We got 2 hours. And we're going to talk about her. We're going to talk about her email. Do I think she's a good person? No. You know, do I think that Donald Trump does everything great? No. But I'm talking about is with this going on in Dallas right now. I mean, there are so many people. You know, you got 5 officers that were going to. I mean, they were helping out a peaceful protest. I don't care if you want to protest something that went wrong. That's your power. That's great. I have no problem with that. Peaceful is great. To stand up there and tell people how you feel about it. Let them know. But when it turns to violence, that's when it goes out the window. That's when, you know, they need to be shut down. Like in Ferguson, they burnt down a CVS pharmacy. What for? You know, you got people's jobs that were lost because of that. That store will never be rebuilt there. Right now, they got looking at the news going on. You got protesters facing off in Baton Rouge with the police. You know, the shooting that happened in Baton Rouge with Sterling, they were talking about, the camera show doesn't lie, but the camera doesn't tell the whole truth. And that's the problem with the camera. If the officers did something wrong, then they need to be held accountable for it. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with officers being held accountable for what they do. The shooting up in Minnesota, wow, that one, I've seen information about that. That one doesn't sound good at all. You look at that and I'm like, he's told the officer, hey, I'm a concealed carrier, blah, blah, blah. I have a weapon with me. Can you give me your driver's license registration. So what's he do? Goes for it, and then he gets shot. Do I think, that law enforcement officer might have reacted wrong? Yeah. It's kind of like when they took down the gentleman for selling cigarettes illegally. I don't think they needed to take him down for that. Write him a ticket and let him go. He'd still be alive today. Do I think they had intentions of killing him? No. But even though he died. So, do I feel that some people that live in areas where they don't understand, they think that it's the police against them. I think everything they do, the officers are out to get them. I think they can't win to get out of the situation they're in. I understand that. You work in low-income housing and you work with low-income families and stuff like that. They feel like they don't have any way of recourse of getting out of it. They feel like, it's like when we go into other countries. Some of them don't want us there. A lot of them don't want us there. Some do, some don't. A lot of the good families in the bad neighborhoods want us there. But the people that are out causing the problems don't. So, and the sad part about the whole thing with the shooting, you get all the officers that died. I'm looking through the names because I have friends of mine that work for Dallas PD. And I did not see any names that I recognize. It's it's a sad situation to have to sit there. I've been to officer funerals. They're overwhelming. Looking at the officers that I had a list of the names here. I must have closed that window. I had a little problem getting on tonight. Connection was I could not get connected to one, so I had to reboot my whole computer. So it's been this computer. I don't know what's going on. Got a little bit of little wacky something going on. But I am broadcasting on TuneIn.com. I'm also broadcasting on Spreaker.com. I'm on Ustream.tv, and I'm also live streaming on Twitter on the Periscope app. So I got 4 actual broadcasts going on. So you can connect in any way. You can call in if you want to talk about anything that's going on with Dallas at 1-866-225-5401. Love to have you, dial in, tell me what your thoughts are. But you look at, what happened in Dallas. Supposedly, come for more information that's come out, they're saying that it was a lone gunman. That he laughed and sang during the standoff with police. His name's Micah Xavier or Javier Johnson. He was killed by an explosive device attached to a robot after talks broke down. He was laughing and singing and not at all anxious during the standoff. This is what some source told the news. Said a North Texas Army veteran had been identified as the lone gunman responsible for the sniper attacks that killed 5 police officers and injured 7 others in Dallas. Said the investigation into Johnson's attack is still ongoing, and much still remains unknown. So they're going to go through, and you'll hear nothing but the shooting and everything about it for the next, next so many days. And it's good. We need to do is talk about it. Oh, here's a list of the victims. Brent Thompson, 43. He was a rapid transit, so they call him DART, Dallas Area Rapid Transit Officer. Patrick Zamaripa. Guy said he wanted to kill whites. Well, Patrick's Hispanic. Said joined the Dallas Police Department after 3 tours in the Navy. He was also married and had a 2-year-old daughter. Brent Thompson was a newlywed who recently walked down the aisle, they just said 2 weeks ago. Michael Kroll, 40. Before joining Dallas Police Department, he was a sheriff's deputy in Wayne County, Michigan. Michael Smith served with Dallas Police Department for 28 years and was a 7-year U.S. Army veteran. Lauren Ahrens was a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy for more than 10 years and joined the Dallas PD 2 days after leaving. You think about that, these officers that go in, they put their life on the line, they walk out the door and they never know if they're going to come home. I got my hats off to all officers that do that. Is it possible that, these officers here, they had nothing to do with any of the shootings that happened in Louisiana and the shootings that happened in Minnesota? But this lone gunman thought if he would he wanted to kill white people. He wanted to kill white officers because he was driven to hatred because of the Black Lives Matter rhetoric and the Black Panther movement. A friend of his said ever since he came back from his tour overseas that his personality changed. And he turned into wanting to do his, be more militant. Well, you look at the way what is his name? Roof, or whatever his name, he went and shot the people at the church. Immediately they wanted to do is get rid of, it was the Confederate flag and all this and everything. This Micah, whatever his name is, he goes out and shoots 12 officers, 5 of them dead. Micah Johnson. And what does he do? They go, we need to do is ban the gun. I'm sorry, but the gun doesn't... You could ban all the guns and it's not going to solve the race relations that we have right now. Race relations right now are so strained. They have video of people standing and dancing in front of the officers and flashing all these different gang signs at them and with their fingers up, doing all kinds of different things, making signs right in front of a line of officers that have to stand there and take it. That's the mentality they have. I saw tweets today that just make your blood boil. And if it doesn't make your blood boil, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. If it doesn't bother you that you have people that feel that more officers should die, then something's wrong with you. Jesse Jackson come out and blame Donald Trump for Donald Trump has nothing to do with this. It's our administration we have right now that's separating us apart. Jesse Jackson is just a race baiter. That's all he is. He wants you to be divided because otherwise he has no job. If we were all together and we were stronger together than divided. If we were all together and got along great, he would have nothing to do. He wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't even interview him because he wouldn't even be on TV. He only shows up when this comes around. You don't see him hear about him down in like the streets of Chicago every weekend when the shooting's going on. Jesse Jackson just pops up. He's a little leech. Wants the time. Wants to shove that race because that gives him power. We have to learn to coexist together. If we don't, all they're going to do is try to divide us apart. Do I think some of the shootings were wrong? Yeah. But to sit there and say innocent officers must die, that's when I have a problem. That doesn't make much sense. You look at President Obama come out. He says, we need to do is start having a more discussion on gun control. That's the first thing that comes out of his mouth, gun control. Bink right after it. Had nothing to do with gun control. This guy, the pipe bombs and stuff that he was talking about making, have nothing to do with gun control. They went to his house. They went through and they raided his house. They found bomb-making materials. They found flak vests. They found a manifesto on how to maneuver and fire and evade. I mean, this guy would have been planning this. So it doesn't matter what guns you would have banned. He would have thought of a different way to do it. This guy was determined to cause death to white police officers. This guy was his brain was filled with crap, thinking that if we sit there and kill people, that's going to solve the problem. It's only going to make it worse. You're only going to see a bigger divide. It says, this is on Breitbart. This is an article that came on Breitbart. It says, confirmed, Dallas shooter was a member of Houston new Black Panther Party. It says, Quanell X told reporters at KPRC NBC2 in Houston that Johnson was a member of the Houston chapter of the new Black Panther Party for just a short time a few years ago. He said he parted ways with Johnson for about 6 months because Johnson would not follow the chain of command. It said during negotiations with Dallas Police Department Friday morning during the ambush shooting, that left 5 officers dead and 7 other people shot. Johnson said he was not a part of any group. And then he stated he wanted to kill white people and white officers. So, where's the hatred coming from? What's driving the hatred? It's our elected officials right now. You think that there's no justice in this world. Well, you can take one look at Hillary Clinton. We're going to talk about that later. There's no justice for what she did for her emails and for what she did for working and lying her ass off and gets away with it. And there's going to be no prosecution. But it's all funny how all the people that are involved are intermingled in one way or another. They dealt with each other somehow before. It just tells you how sickening our electoral system is and our government. It's a rigged system. It's exactly right. It's so rigged. It's like doesn't matter if you vote or not, because we're going to pick who we want you to have. Yeah, it's sad to see. Whether it's going to change anytime soon? No, I don't think so. Not unless we get somebody in that has enough balls to stand up to these people that are trying to make it a one world government. When the UN has a say or starts tweeting about crap that's going on in this country, that tells you that something is going on. The UN talking about how white people are shooting down, white officers are shooting down black people. And the one in Minnesota wasn't a white officer. He was Asian. We have more officers. We're up 44% over last year in officer deaths. I mean, that's unbelievable, almost double. You think that. You think about what the amount of officers that have died in the line of duty. There was a stat out today of black on black crime or killing is just astronomical over a white officer killing a black guy. There was officers who shot a white kid, 19 years old, unarmed. It happened 2 days or 3 days ago. Did it ever make the news? No, you never heard about it. Why? Because it doesn't sell papers. It doesn't cause people to protest in the streets. It's not just Black Lives Matter or White Lives Matter. It's all lives matter. Police lives matter. That individual up in Minnesota that's driving his car with his girlfriend and his daughter, that matters. You know, it's sad to think that our society has got to where they think that the police are so racist that they kill just black people. I've seen white people killed by police. I'm not saying that the shootings, if you're in you know, I don't know what the statistics would be of white or blacks that are committing more violent crimes or causing committing crimes where they're armed or something where it escalates into a shooting. But would people, if they saw a gentleman with a gun who was black and it was on TV live and he was shooting, would they still riot over that? Would that still be an unjustified shoot to them? I mean, there are people dancing in the streets over this. They were so happy to see officers get killed. And I saw tweets, and people, I don't know if you saw these, it's sickening to what some people did. It says, let me see if I can find the... Oh, here you go. I was trying to find the article for it. So it says, this is tweets that came out on Infowars.com. There's quite a few of them if you look at them down the line there. But I'm going to read a few of them here. It says, and this is, here's one that says, Dallas, keep smoking them pigs, keep up the work. It says, another one, give a F about Dallas and them pigs, F them all. Here's another one that says, dude, hell yeah, someone is shooting pigs in Dallas, solidarity. And it says, yeah, it's lit in Dallas, F the pigs. I'm abbreviating the F word if you'd like to know. It says, all the Dallas pigs that got bodied deserved it. It says, shout out to them Dallas shooters wrapping pigs in blankets. I don't understand why Dallas would let them choppas go. They wasn't playing with them pigs. I mean, they have this mentality. You know, if they have this mentality that they will shoot police officers, and they're happy to see police officers die, you wonder why they get into shootouts. You wonder why the officers escalate this up, because I guarantee you there's some of these places where they're at where it gets escalated up. But I mean, to sit there and look at all these tweets that go down, it says this one it goes, WTF is when whites think they're superior than us. Dallas must burn. Black Lives Matter now. Got the message, pigs? I mean, I don't think I'm any more superior to anybody. Another one here. Next time Dallas group wants to organize a police shoot, do like Dallas tonight, but extra men and women to flank the pigs. See, that's the thing, is all they care about is killing people. All they care about is killing somebody that had nothing to do with Louisiana, Minnesota. Is there anybody in Dallas that works for Dallas PD that was involved with Ferguson, or up in New York, or Louisiana, or Minnesota? No, none of them were involved with it. These are officers sworn to defend and protect the citizens of Dallas and the state of Texas. Had nothing to do with any of those other shoots. But this guy felt like, well, I need to go out and shoot somebody and kill somebody because they're white. And then what does our administration say? We need to do is enact gun control. How does that solve or change the mindset of people that want to kill each other just because of the color of their skin? It's not going to solve it. All it's going to do is you're going to say, oh, let's take away this type of gun so they'll go to some other type of gun. Oh, and then we'll get rid of that too. Pretty soon they'll have no guns, and they'll be doing it